Jefferson climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Come
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Run Pure Sports PGA Showdown show. I'm with my guy Locks, and we're here to talk a little bit about the BMW Championship Round 3. We'll be talking about Saturday's Round 3 Showdown. Again, FedEx Cup playoffs, we got 49 guys. It was 50, and now it's 49 guys for tomorrow. So, yeah, we'll talk about that, but we'll get into, some pretty good. The leaderboard's starting to stretch out a little bit. You guys are definitely lighting up this golf course more so than they did in 2020, so it's a little different than what I expected. But yeah, I definitely have some tickets that are live. I'll bring in my guy Locks. How's everything going for you, man? What are your thoughts so far? 10 under par through 2 rounds. I'm not really thrilled about that. I was hoping like even par one under through 2 rounds. So what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I was thinking more of the same. I'm kind of shocked to see so many birdies flying around. Just completely different course right now, it seems like. But I think maybe it's going to harden up here a little bit. We're going to get some wind tomorrow that's going to affect everybody. Maybe it shows its teeth a little bit more tomorrow. And then come Sunday, it's going to go even more. So I don't think tomorrow is going to be as much of a birdie barrage as it has been, I guess you could say. But, I mean, compared to what it normally is, yeah, this is crazy. I don't think it's going to continue through the weekend. I think it's going to get tougher. So I'm excited to find some bounce back spots for tomorrow.
It's definitely lower than what I expected and definitely lower than it was in 2020, obviously. But Homa's round today was a little bit of an anomaly. I mean, most of the other guys are shooting 4 or 5 under as good scores. And I think that's fair on this golf course. If you play well and you shoot 4 under, that's fine. But 8 under is a bit of a stretch. Yeah. And then Thursday was just a shock to me. I thought that golf course was going to play super tough in the wind. It still was playing long. It was still like 72-70, par 70. And obviously McIlroy and Harman shoot 5 under par on that golf course. You know, I was expecting 70 to be leading after round 1. So, hopefully – I know they got rain earlier in the week, so it's soft. It's overall pretty soft. Hopefully the wind keeps drying it out and they keep letting it dry out. And maybe by Sunday, 10 under par is the winning score. That could certainly be the case. So, so the idea here is we'll go through through the leaderboard. We'll start up there. Max Homa will work our way down. I see some comments there already about Hideki, Mr. Unknown, who's been in with us the last couple weeks. So sign up so you can have a name. But Unknown, 20% Decky. I had Decky on my 4K team. So of a no-cut 50-mana field to have a 5 of 6 kind of hurts. And I'm not very interested in checking that lineup anymore. It actually moved up the leaderboard today just because I had Homa. But to have what's ideal – or not ideal, but what's going to happen in an ideal like slap in the face way is it'll bubble with basically 16 points from Hideki because he didn't play the last 3 rounds. That will suck. So we'll see. I still have a ticket out on Rose. Rose moved up the leaderboard pretty nicely. I got him at 70-1. He's T5, 5 shots back. So who knows? He had a really good weekend last week. At this point, I think the 4K is lost, and I'm rooting for Justin Rose to move up. So we'll go ahead and work down the list here for Showdown round 3, I should say. So we got Max Homa up here. We'll just do the first 4 guys here, Locks. We got Homa at -10, Chris Kirk at -8, Brian Harman moved up the leaderboard a little bit, still -7, and Fitzpatrick there at -7. I mean, honestly, Kirk's played really solid to this point. I'm not sure I can back him. I don't know what his price is for tomorrow. I need to go pull it up. Give me just a second.
I think he's 7,100.
So he's still pretty cheap. I imagine he gets some ownership. I mean, he's obviously striking it really well. He's not long off the tee, so that's kind of his problem. So his approach numbers are phenomenal just because he's got a little bit further back, and he's hitting them really close. So, again, the name of the game for me at least is opportunities, and he does have them. So 7,100 Chris Kirk is probably like a really safe play for tomorrow. He's playing really well. He's really not making a ton of putts, to be honest. And I think Kirk at the price makes a lot of sense. I won't chase Homa after his round today. He had 135 feet of putts made. Still played pretty well tee to green for the most part, but it's not something that I want to chase. And I don't know if a lot of people will anyways, but certainly not going to chase that. I expect him to shoot, 200 par at the best tomorrow. And that's kind of where I stand. The other two up there, I don't know. I'm kind of off Fitzpatrick. I don't know if he's really back, if this is just an anomaly. He's really not driving it that well, so I'll probably fade him. And Harman I might sprinkle in. It seems like Harman might be in a groove a little bit here. So I don't expect him to gain anything off the tee, so that's not a surprise that he's losing some strokes. But yeah, I think in these top four guys, it's mostly a stay away range. I think Kirk is fine. Again, the wind is coming up late morning, so all these guys are going to play in the windier part of the day. I think Kirk, just from a salary perspective, I think 7,100 is fine. The other guys up here, I'll just avoid.
Yeah, and it's pretty short and simple for me too. Don't get me wrong, I like these guys. It's just going into round 3 here, it's not something I'm interested in. I'm not going to chase homos around. That's too hard to follow up on a course like this, in my opinion. Yeah, he looks great, but he's going to get steamed because of that round a little bit. He's $9,300. I'll go elsewhere there. And then Fitzpatrick, I'm with you. I don't know. I don't think he's back. I think this is an anomaly. I don't know. I'm not going to play the guy. I'm not going to pay $8,000. I loved Chris Kirk. I loved him coming into the week, $7,100 for him. I'm with you there. If there's a guy I'm going to play out of these four, it's going to be him. I would jam him in at that price. No problem. But $8,400 for Harman for tomorrow. He's a guy you'll get consistent, not many bogeys. You'll get just consistent pars out of the guy. He'll shoot around even, but just nothing fantastic. So if you're thinking it's going to be, higher rounds tomorrow, then maybe he's a guy you want to plug in. But for the $1,300 savings, I'd rather go to Chris Kirk there.
Yeah, and there's nobody, again, there wasn't anybody in the 5Ks today. I don't think they had anybody priced down there for tomorrow. Yeah, still 6K. So they did classic slate down to 5,500. For the showdown slates, they've been stopping at 6K for whatever reason. So 7,100 is, arguably near min price for at least someone that's playing well. I got Snyder in the chat. Hit the like button. Yes, Snyder will keep me on my toes. Make sure you hit the like button if you're here joining us. We got a good number so far. Does help us out, and let's Big T know that JVC is not the only guy that gets all the attention. These PGA shows still do. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and then we did. I assume Darkman is in the RPS Discord. Definitely had a really good day today for round 2. So thank you to Snyder for the playbook and everybody that posted cores. But I know the guys in the Discord definitely had a fun week. I think there was a fun day. I think there was a couple shippers actually, a couple, $1K, $1,500 wins off of $9, which is always a nice ROI. So we'll keep it moving here. Again, we're just kind of landing on Chris Kirk as a salary saver there for the first 4 guys. The 500 range, we got Justin Rose. All these guys, I think, played really well today. Besides Rory, just hung out at even par, which we kind of expected after how he drove it yesterday. But we got, we got Justin Rose at 500 par, Harris English, Ricky Fowler, Rory, and Scotty Scheffler. Scheffler continues to light it up tee to green and not make a single putt. I played him today. It didn't help. At this point in the year, we got 2 more rounds this week and 4 more rounds next week. So we got 6 more rounds for the season. He's going to post a low one of these rounds, one of the next 6. So I'm just going to play him every day until the end of the season. And then at the end of the season, I can chalk it up as he sucks at putting, and I can reevaluate it for next season. And most likely he comes back at the Tournament Champions, and he's found a new putter, and then he putts really well as I fade him. So Scotty's just playing great, man. He's got 13 shots inside of 15 feet right now, which is tied for first in the field for approaches inside of 15 feet. Just playing super consistent. Through 36 holes, he has 22 shots inside of 30 feet. So that definitely helps the scorecard. Just don't lose 2 strokes putting, basically, and you're in the thing. Justin Rose played pretty well. I won't go back to it. The guy that I played today that I'm going to keep playing is Ricky Fowler. Ricky played really well on Thursday, and I even watched some of his round, and I really did feel like he had pretty good control of both his driver and his irons. His approaches this week have been pretty good. He's not far behind where Scheffler and Chris Kirk are at right now. So I think Ricky is a nice play there in kind of the mid-range to upper expensive range. And that's probably it, man. Happy for Harris English to keep it going. He's gaining 4 strokes putting, so that's obviously not something I would target. And I faded him in the full week slate. I kicked it around for a while as a punt. and ended up getting off of him for Nick Taylor, who's, I think, in DFL at the moment. So, yeah, I think Rory's fine. But for me, man, I'm just going to keep jamming Scotty. At some point, he's got to light something up, whether it's this week or next week. I don't care. Just I'm going to have exposure at this point. He's one of the few. He's not like a value Denny McCarthy where, yeah, I could chase it, but it may not ever come to fruition. Scotty Scheffler at some point is going to come out where, he gains 2 strokes putting and shoots 62, 61, something like that. So Scotty for me, Ricky Fowler's the other one in this 500 range.
Yeah, I don't mind those 2 calls. I'm kind of, I don't know, looking at this range, like I don't know what to do. And then I heard you say Nick Taylor in DFL. He's not in DFL. Hideki Matsuyama is no longer in the tournament. So,
he's close.
Hey, it could be worse. He's T40. It's not bad.
What I'm hoping for, if ideally this tournament gets crazy and guys start shooting 90 and Hideki's 16 points just holds out, and he's like the lowest scorer without placement points. Like that would be ideal. So if we could get the tournament official to get this thing to shoot like, an average of 18 over par for the next 2 rounds, that'd be fantastic. That's the only way I can win.
Oh, that would be absolutely fantastic. But Nikki T is going to fire you like a 65, 64 tomorrow. So you'll like him after that.
That's all I need. Just something. Just finish, inside the top 48. That's all I need you.
Absolutely. The guys I'm on up here, I'll just name them in order. I'm on Fowler with you. He's probably my favorite at the 5 unders. And then it's Rory and Scheffler. I'm not going to be on Rose. I'm not chasing the 5 under round from today. And I'm not going to play English either. So for me, it's probably Fowler, McIlroy, Scheffler in that order. I'm pretty much leaning, honestly, at this point to – I don't know. I almost want to fade Scheffler, but it's too hard because the guy strikes it so well, Drew. It's like it's insane. Like, figure out the putting, man. Like, it can't be.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a small argument to be made where like you have so many, like you hit it so well, you're not expected to make every single putt inside of 15 feet. But like he doesn't make any putts inside of 10 feet. So it's not even that. Oh yeah, I mean, he hit it really good, and he only made 2 putts inside of 10 feet. He made 0. He makes 0 inside of 5 feet. Like, it's just ridiculous. It's so bad. And he has so many opportunities. Like the way I stare at this thing every single week, it's like, dude, anybody that has this ball striking, like you couldn't be worse than like number 3 in the world. And you could literally 3-putt, a couple times a day and still be number 3 in the world. It's just ridiculous, man. You're hitting 8 shots, 10 shots around inside of 20 feet. It's hard to play bad golf. I would love that. So I can't fade it. He's expensive and he's losing strokes putting. I'm just going to count it. I'm going to look at a longer horizon. I'm going to say Saturday, Sunday, and next week I'm going to play him every single day. And one of those days it's going to work out.
I honestly, I just changed my mind. I would play him over McIlroy. I would save the money and play Scheffler instead of McIlroy tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm definitely. Yeah, it was a better savings today. It was $500 cheaper. Now it's only $300. But still, I think Scotty's playing better than Rory is. Yeah, so
it's Fowler, Scheffler, McIlroy in that order for me.
How is it that like a guy can putt so bad? And like we say it like it's so easy just to flip the switch, but like just putt average, right? Just putt average. But like he's in the top 5 every single week, and he can't make anything. Like any amateur watching this YouTube video right now, live stream, could probably help him finish in the top 2. Just
probably.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I hate to say I'm chasing it, but he's playing so good, man. It's going to happen. Sign me up for some Scotty Scheffler. It sounds like we're both going to play some Ricky Fowler. So we can keep it moving. We'll move down into the 400 range. We just got 3 guys here. Then we'll talk about the 3 unders because it's a pretty large range. Got Patrick Cantley, Sung J M, and Xander Schauffele. The one guy that stands out most to me here is Xander. The guy played really well. I mean, he played pretty decent on Thursday. It was above average, we'll say. And I even talked about him on the stream last night with Snyder that, like, I want to give it one more round to see if he's actually back because he's had a rough couple of events in a row, just not being the same Xander that we saw earlier in the summer, earlier in the year. Today was back to Xander Schauffele type of round. Let me pull it up really fast. So, like, the whole day, but just specifically on the back 9, Xander on the back 9 had 7 shots inside of 15 feet, and 4 of those were inside of 10 feet. 2 of those were inside of 5 feet. Like Xander flagged it on the back 9. So obviously played well pretty much all day, but shooting 4 under on that back nine, as tough as this golf course can be, I'm going to play a healthy chunk of Xander Schauffele. I think he's over. Is he still over 10K?
He just
under 9,700. So yeah, that'll be the guy I will try to pair with Scheffler. And I talked about this with Snyder. Like for the full week slate, man, I tried to go, stars and scrubs in a way. Like I tried to get I got 4 guys over 9K that I thought all had win potential and safe to finish in the top 10 probably. And then I punted off 2 guys. But in Showdown, I don't mind playing a Scheffler with a Xander, and even with like Ricky or somebody else. Yeah. Like I don't mind going 3 or 4 guys with 2 over 10K even. So yeah, for me, Xander is going to be a core play. Save that for later in the show. But Xander played extremely well, and he's one of the few guys that I'm scared to fade. When he starts to hit the ball well, I know he can make some putts. So sign me up for some Xander. Yeah,
are we only on the 4Ks, Drew? Is that what we're doing?
4 unders, yeah.
4 unders, I mean?
Yeah, we'll talk about the 3s in a second. I know it's just a bigger range, but yeah, just those 3 there.
Those 3
it's really just Xander.
Yeah, and I agree there. I mean, if you want to play Sungjae, I wouldn't mind it, but I'm not going there. With Xander, it's just, I was going to say is he continues to just get overlooked because all these guys priced around him, everyone's picking them and they're forgetting about X-Man. I mean, he continues to come in lower owned than the rest of them for the most part, and he's just so steady. And on a course like this, I think it fits him well. Clearly locked in there, like you said, on the back nine, which is the hardest. So I'm glad going there. I have a feeling that might be in our show core later on. So that's the only guy I want to mention here. So let's just move on to 3 unders. That's a little bit bigger range to talk about.
Yeah, you want to go ahead and lead off in the 3 under range? I know it's a big range, so if you're ready, you can talk through that.
Yeah, I'll talk through it a little bit here. The first guy I want to mention is Benyon. Loved him coming into the week. He was pretty chalky, over ungodly, like something I was too worried about. So I played him. It's another guy I liked coming in that's just striking the ball so well. He just can't putt. It's like Scotty Scheffler 2.0 at this point. I mean, the guy just strikes the ball super well, hits his irons well, and just can't make a putt to save his life. So I'm okay going to him. Poston's playing some amazing golf right now. So I'm okay going back to him. And then Wyndham Clark, I think, is in a good bounce back spot for us. Just this whole year has looked really good. Just a little bit of a letdown round today. +1. I think he fires us at least a 4 under round tomorrow. So I'm interested in a little Wyndham Clark. I'll be off of Hovland myself. Back on Morikawa as I've been on all week. I think he bounces back for us after an even round today. And then I'll be Xing out Glover. I'll be Xing out Connors. And then the last guy I'll mention is Fleetwood. This guy's due for a PGA win at some point. Maybe it doesn't come this year, but he just continues to produce for us. I don't know how you fade a guy like that. I mean, even on Saturdays too. So Fleetwood's another guy I'll mention here that I'm interested in. But yeah, those few guys in this range, a couple guys I'll X out, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, I do like Fleetwood. He's checking a lot of boxes for me. I liked him for the full week slate. I will say he has made a fair share of putts just to kind of hang out here at -3. But we know from the last 2 months he's been so consistent with top 5s and top 10s that I want to keep attacking. So Tommy Fleetwood's a little bit expensive, so you would kind of have to make a choice, I think, of playing Scheffler or playing like Fleetwood with Ricky and Xander, or playing Tommy with Scheffler and Xander, something like that. You can't fit them all together. But yeah, Fleetwood is fine. He's just expensive. Talked about Glover last night on the show. His irons are just phenomenal right now. I wanted to kind of see how he did today. I did play some of him, but he led the field in a couple of the proximity buckets that I look at, and it didn't really make sense with how bad he drove it. So I was like, well, I'm just going to hang out and see. And he shoots 3 under today, which is probably one of the most mediocre 3 unders that anybody could probably shoot around this golf course. I think he had, he had 50. Sorry, no, it was Benyon. Benyon had 58 feet of putts made. Glover had 74 feet of putts made. He had 5 shots inside of 20 feet. So a little bit worse than Thursday, but continues to hit a lot of fairways. And like I said, I think at the price, Glover's a guy that's going to be overlooked. I think he was sub 10% today in the main GBP, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm pretty much interested the most in Fleetwood. I really don't mind Benyon, like you said. And I'm going to have a little sprinkle of Lucas Glover. Corey Connors doesn't do it for me. I think he's solid, but he doesn't have the upside for me on this golf course. And Victor Hovland doesn't seem to agree quite yet with this golf course. He doesn't have a ton of shots super close. So I don't know if it looks like he's hitting a lot of fairways, but his irons don't seem to be carrying over from last week. So yeah, Fleetwood probably be number one for me in this range. Just chase that and hopefully shoots 500 and gets back into the golf tournament.
Love it.
All right, we can move down into the -2 range. If you're just joining us, do not forget to hit the like button, and that'll make Snyder smile. You can just picture it behind there. He's smiling in the chat room right now. So -2 range. We got Russell Henley, Denny McCarthy, Jordan Spieth, Sahith Theegala, Cameron Young. I'll be honest, this is probably a range that most guys that I least expected to even be under par. Sahith, there was no shot I was playing much of Sahith, and he actually looks pretty good through 2 rounds. I'm just going to take, my own gut feeling on him and fade him. You might say you'll play him, which is totally fine. But I was off of him to start the week. He's been pretty bad for a while, and I honestly thought this was probably one of the worst golf courses for Sahith. So it was interesting to see him up there in round 1, fall back a little bit today. I'm just going to fade. So no Sahith for me. Denny's struggling off the tee, so I'm not going to play any Denny. Russell Henley is fine. Lost some strokes on approach the first 2 rounds. His irons are usually elite. I'm going to go back to Russell for a little bit of a bounce back spot, and that's it. Cameron Young's weapon off the tee is fantastic, but dude, his irons are so bad, just in a general sense, that he's not doing anything with the drives he's hitting. Like, he's like 2nd or 3rd longest in the field, and he's still hitting like above average fairways compared to the field, and he's doing nothing with it. Like, he has, in 2 rounds, he only has 6 shots inside of 20 feet, which is, it's got to be down there with Seamus Power at this moment. And Seamus is he's actually worse than Seamus Power in approaches inside of 20 feet. So, no Cameron Young for me, man. I kind of, with where he's driving, it doesn't take that much to take advantage of it, but it doesn't seem like something's clicking. Like, something's definitely off with, you're hitting at 320, 330 in the fairway, and you're not hitting it close. Something's definitely off. So for me, it's really going to be Henley here. I never get Spieth right. When I think it's going to be a low-owned play for Spieth, he shoots a 74. When I'm off of him and he's chalk and he shoots 66. So, yeah, just Henley. And I think he's just a filler. He's not like a priority. To be honest, nobody in this range really sticks out to me. It sticks out to me as a favorite core play. None of these guys will be making my core, so I don't know about you.
Okay. Interesting there. There's a couple that I will play. A couple I agree on you with is Theegala. I haven't liked him lately. Yeah, you can say, and a lot of people are going to play him probably just because of his ball striking stats for the first couple rounds here. But I don't see it. I haven't seen it lately. I don't think you're just going to find it that quickly. I guess he can, but at a course like this, I don't see it.
He's one of the worst drivers, man. Like, that's my thing for him. He doesn't play well on courses where you have to hit it long and straight. He does well when you have to hit it, straight and short, or long and crooked, and that's about it. So this is not his cup of tea, in my opinion.
And that's why coming into the week, I was like, no way I'm playing him, no way.
Yeah, I would have bet him to finish last, to be honest.
It's just like, I think he continues the fall tomorrow. We could be wrong. I don't know, but that's
I'm not going to be wrong. No, he's going to keep falling.
I like 2 guys here is all I like, Drew, is Russell Henley and Denny Putz. I just think 6,900 is too cheap for Denny Putz tomorrow. Off the tee, does it scare you a little? Yes, maybe. You got to find it a little at some point. The guy doesn't hit it very far, so hopefully hits a few more fairways. He catches some, I don't know, luck tomorrow. He hasn't had a good putting day in a while either, and normally we call him Denny Putz for a reason. So, watch out. One of these low rounds is going to happen at some point for him again. He's just going to start making putts left and right. So I have a feeling it's coming soon. These are the prices it happens at. When he gets priced at about 10K, that's when it doesn't happen. So I'm okay throwing him in there at that price tag.
Yeah, we talked about him yesterday. He was 6,700 for today, and I sold Snyder on him. It didn't pan out most likely. He shot 1 under, so depending on your build, it might have worked out. But at 6,700, it felt like there was so much upside at the price. Like, you weren't banking an 8K Henley to shoot 4 under par. you're taking Denny McCarthy, who could still shoot 6 under par, but if he shoots 2 or 3 or 4 under par, you're looking pretty good at the price. So I get it. I think this golf course is set up so much off the tee, and that's what scares me off. But I don't hate it. It's obviously Showdown, 1 round. It's all you need. And he's still relatively cheap. So we can keep it moving down into the 1 under range. We got Keegan Bradley, Cam Davis, and Svensson. I'm in near even. We'll just group the evens together, actually. So we got Eric Cole, Tom Hoagie, Siwoo Kim, and Andrew Putnam. Honestly, the only guy, and I got flack from Big T on Siwoo Kim being a limp noodle or little noodle or both. I won't be playing any Siwoo tomorrow. Right. I played a healthy chunk of Eric Cole, and he was looking great today, and just had a struggle in the back nine. So Eric Cole is still interesting for tournaments. Don't mind that. As far as the 1-unders that go, Cam Davis probably – did he get a price increase? I assume he did. Where was he at? 7,700. Actually, he's kind of hung out at the same. So I think Cameron Davis at 7,700 is still a good play. Outside of that, man, Svensson, the things that he does well, he's not doing well this week, so I won't go there. And Keegan's actually been surprisingly pretty solid, tee to green. So I don't mind Keegan as a filler as well. He's only $7K, so he's actually cheaper than Cam Davis. Actually, Keegan's actually all right. I think Keegan's in a good spot for tomorrow. Tom Hoagie looks okay on his irons, but off the tee is not the case, and I'm cool fading that as well. So, and then no Putnam. He's another guy I would have bet to finish last. So I'm pretty biased. Like at this point in the event, I'm just pissed off about Hideki, but some of these guys, dude, they just need to finish worse than Hideki somehow. Just make a lot of bogeys, a lot of double bogeys. So yeah, I think Keegan's in shape for a good one. Cam Davis is totally fine. And Eric Cole is always live to shoot a low one. So I got it going early today. He was 4 under through 6 holes, I think, and just gave it all back, or some of it back on the back nine. So I'll still go back to some Eric Cole. Yeah,
I like the Eric Cole call. Not heavy on him, but just a guy. I mean, at $6,500, you saw what he could do in the front nine. I mean, if that continues, that pays off easily times a million. So he's got
nothing to lose. Like I haven't really paid attention to the
FedEx Cup he has to move up a ton in order to make the final.
So you can argue that's a great thing for him. Like just go out and shoot low
for every pin. He's going to be doing everything he can. It's a great guy to play, and I think Hoagie's a great guy to play at $6K flat. I mean, I don't know how you don't have these two guys in your pool at least to play these guys for these studded lineups that you want to make, the stars and scrubs. It's dumb to me to not have these two guys in there. I'm fine not playing Svensson or a couple of these other guys down here, but I think Hoagie and Eric Cole need to be in the pool. I'm not saying they're going to be locks for me or in my core or anything, but just guys you can't pass up that value right there. And then Keegan Bradley is my other guy, 7K flat. I think that's too cheap for him personally, so I'll be jamming a ton of Keegan. He's probably my favorite in this range. I just think those other two guys you can't pass up the value, but it's those three guys for me. Keegan, again, my favorite.
Okay. Let's go down to the plus ones. And, I mean, we can kind of start throwing all these guys together. I doubt you're going to play many guys that are plus 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 8.
There's a couple.
Okay, so let's just do the plus ones and plus twos. So we got Sam Burns and Adam Shank at plus 1. And plus 2, we have Tony Finau, Grillo, Adam Hadwin, and Terrell Hatton. We're also missing John Rahm down here. Yeah, John Rahm lost 3 strokes.
I actually really like this 2 over range. I could almost play everybody.
The 2 over range actually has a lot of live guys that are going to be way lower owned than they should be. Just off of one bad round and off of their placement on the board right now.
Yep.
Yeah,
could almost play every one of these guys at plus 2. Other than Hadwin.
I think I could, except for Finau. I think Finau is the guy that I still think is a little bit off, but
he's got decent course history here, which is what he
can.
I don't know. I look at that, and that's how you can find it too. But
yeah,
I don't know. I like how low on play that can go easily.
They should definitely be in your pool. I think let's try to rank it, right? Like I don't think Rahm is going to be at the top of my board. He's in the pool, but he's not going to be at the top of the board because I'm going to play Scheffler at the top of the board.
You playing Burns or Shank?
Who's that?
Burns or Shank at 1 over? I'll throw in a little Adam Schenk at 6,400.
Yeah, I've been playing some Schenk. I think he's fine. And he's cheap, right? He's like 62.
So let's rank the 2 overs and 1 overs. I'd
Okay.
say for me, it's Hatton first.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
For me, second, price value-wise, Grillo.
What's his price versus Hadwin's price?
He's $6,700 and Hadwin's $63.
Yeah, Hadwin projects really well for me. I played a good chunk of Hadwin today. I would put Hadwin down as a better value for me. So we'll just call that a split. So Grillo and Hadwin as a split second. Hat number one. I mean, Rom I don't think I can get to Rom. I don't mind him if you're JBC, but I don't see myself realistically playing any Rom tomorrow when I play Scheffler and Xander. And then for like the plus ones, yeah, it's really just Schenk, man. I don't think I can really play Sam Burns. I don't mind it. He would be one of the few guys that I wouldn't hate on if you wanted to play Sam Burns. Like Tony Finau, I'd probably hate on a little bit.
I really like Rahm tomorrow. I like Rahm a lot.
I mean, what's he at? 10?
Yeah, there's a GPP play. I love that.
Are you going to play him with Scheffler? Or are you going to say screw Scheffler, play Rahm with Xander?
I'd say screw Scheffler. Ricky. I'd say screw Scheffler and McIlroy. I'd probably play Rahm with Rory or Rahm with Ricky. I mean,
I think that's the only way you can do it.
You could even go Rahm, Ricky, Schauffele,
and Hat, and then jam in 2 cheap guys.
I mean, yeah, that's tasty to me. I think Rahm can go. Rahm can have a nuts day like Homa did almost.
Yeah, Rahm's not too far off. I could buy into that. Yeah, that's the only way. You basically fade the 2 highest owned guys, which is going to be Rory and Scheffler, and you play Rahm at a third the ownership of each of them. Is my guess, maybe less. So yeah, I'll buy into that. That's good. Anything else you want to touch on here? Sounds like you really do like the range. So
yeah, not really anything else. Just a little bit of sprinkle of Finau, just because I think it's a guy that you can get super, super low owned in tournaments that could easily nuke for you.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. All right, so we'll touch on we'll just hit the last couple of ranges all together. So plus 3s down to plus 8s. I mean, the guys that are +4 to +8, like I just X'd a lot of these guys out today, and it worked out. They were the cheapest in the field for a reason. I kicked around Hodges all week to play him in my main lineup, and I didn't, so I'm happy. And then Matsuyama WD, so that's all for shit. So as far as the +3s, I don't know, man. I mean, you talked about Nick Taylor. I'm totally fine playing some Nick Taylor. Brendan Todd, I thought, would have some decent mojo. He looked like he started off well yesterday, had good course history. I wouldn't hate Brendan Todd in Showdown.
Yeah, I was going to say for Showdown, definitely him at 6,400. Nicky T, 62. I think that's too cheap. I think we see a bounce back out of him too.
At this price, like these guys, like just show me a sign recently. And like I said, perfectly, if they're guys that I was curious about playing for the full week, then they should still be in play because they're so cheap. So like Nick Taylor and Brendan Todd are perfect examples. The other guys, sorry for anyone that played Kitayama and Rogers just because it was a no-cut event, guaranteed 4 rounds. It didn't make much sense to me. They were still live to end up where they're ending up. So, and then Tom Kim, I'm surprised to see him down here. I guess he's just still hurt. So that's really it for me, man. Taylor Morse continues to play bad off of Sunday. Seamus Power continues to play bad. I mean, I will say Kitayama's proximity's been pretty good, but everything, like he's had blow up holes. I think he had a triple bogey on Thursday. He's not putting well. So none of these guys are polished. So if you don't have anything else in this range, which I don't blame you for not, we could talk about a core.
Yeah, I'm good. Nothing else.
All right. So we've been trying to do 2 and then split off the last 2 a piece. Last night we did 4 together just because we were so torn between a couple guys. We just did 2 and then said, now we need to kick around the last 2 spots. So we can see how this goes. So we can start with the first one in. It sounds like we might go different up top, but it sounds like one of the few that we do agree on is Ricky. So you want to start with Ricky or Xander or both as far as spin ups, I guess.
I was going to say you almost can throw in both. We both like both of them, I think.
Yeah, I love Xander, and I do like Ricky, so I'm cool with that.
Cool.
Any cheap guys? What's the cheap guy that you want to play? There's plenty of them that you talked about. Where would you go first? Your first plug-in for a cheap guy that you think has the upside?
It's just tough.
It's not going to completely screw you either. Like, you can have a cheap guy shoot even par. It's not going to kill you.
Yeah, and that's what I'm looking at too. And you got to think about, and it's tough. Like, I'm trying to think of who's been playing good lately that can easily do that for me. I really like Nick Taylor for a bounce back tomorrow. He's played good this year. He's got a win this year. I don't think a lot of people are going to play this guy, and I like him. I think Nicky T.
Okay, fair enough. And I'll give you one more then. Let's go up the board a little bit. Well, mid-price, I guess. Oh, man. Yeah, I guess we'll just do it. Mid-price guy, Cam Davis.
Oof.
He's $400 a day, $7,700. Gives you a little bit of flexibility. And really had some bad holes on Thursday. So I think he's still live for a nice finish to the weekend. And he ends up probably top 10 or something by the end of the week, and all's forgiven. So that sounds like the core, right? Ricky Fowler, Xander Schauffele, Nick Taylor, and Cam Davis. That should give you guys some flexibility. Obviously, you can swap any of those guys out if you wish to get up to Scheffler or Rahm if you want to go contrarian, or some cheap guys and jam in a few more. So appreciate everybody tuning in. I'll give it to Ox one more time. Any final thoughts for you? Anything we've overlooked? There's no weather, really. It looks like, first 2 hours of the morning is a little bit mild, but after that, everybody's getting the same 10 to 12 miles per hour wind, so no real weather edge. Where's the dude that was talking junk about Cam Davis yesterday? I don't know. Maybe me. I don't know if that was Snyder. I have no idea. So, Locks, any thoughts?
No, not much here. Like you said, and we talked about earlier, weathers are going to pretty much affect everyone the same, I think, for the most part, from what it's looking like. And like we said, there's not a big enough gap in the tee times to really affect anyone majorly differently. So just not much to pay attention to. Go with your gut. Pick the guys you want to play and move on. Stars and scrubs, whatever you want to do, I'm okay either way. I don't know how exactly I'm going to build it yet, but we talked about our pools, so that should give you guys a pretty good breakdown. And yeah, let's run Pier again.
Yeah, most weeks you could, go balanced, or you could leave some salary and still have pretty live lineups. I think this is one of the few weeks, and certainly next week, to spend as much salary as you can, try to jam in the top guys because they are playing the best right now this season overall. They're most liable to go low, and then just try to get the right values mixed in. So that's the way to do it. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. Definitely hit the like button as you log out. Appreciate everybody's input and comments, and we'll be back tomorrow for round 4 Showdown show, same time or pretty close to the same time. Might be 8:30 Eastern. And that'll do it, guys. Best of luck. We'll see you later.